What you're seeing here is the view from the Gingko Petrified Forest Interpretive Center. It's in Vantage, Washington. And as you can see, you've got several layers of lava rock on the other side. And that's the whole thing. This whole area was covered by lava. And as you can see, it's all been stripped away. There used to be a big forest out here, but it's all gone now. The Ice Age floods took care of that. One of the things the Ice Age floods did was brought a big, giant lahar kind of to where it was covered in mud. Well, sections of it were anyway. And you'll be able to see here in a second where I pan to the left and show you some of this petrified wood. And basically what happens is the wood gets covered in mud and clay, and as a result it can't rot away like it normally would, and the minerals seep into the wood and replace the cells with minerals. And so you end up with this rock that looks just like the tree that used to be there. It's rather kind of interesting, actually. One thing I was fascinated by was how well the tree rings were preserved. It's just absolutely fascinating to me that you could get that kind of a detail in rock. But there it is. It's there to prove it. You can see I really zoomed in there to give you the detail. It just looks like wood. It looks like some space age wood or something. They had a bunch of different chunks of the wood there in the interpretive center because a lot of people can't take the hike out there to go see where it is that they find this stuff. It's all state park, so you're not allowed to take anything out of there anyway, but it's right there. And of course there's a lot of lava rock around, which shouldn't surprise anyone. The chain fence was rather cool, I thought. Looked rather neat. I got my picture taken right there. Some guy was nice enough to take it for me. And as you can see, these are the other pieces, the big chunks. You have to realize these things are solid stone, so they're not exactly light. You're not going to just pick this thing up. Not that you could pick it up even if it was wood, but it's even worse now that it's stone. And the reason I'm narrating this rather than letting you listen to the audio is that the wind was just howling through here the entire day, and as a result the audio was completely unusable. I love that the heartwood was even visible there. They stood this one up, and you could see that when this thing was covered, it had actually started rotting away on the inside prior to this event occurring. Just frozen in time. One thing that always surprises me when I see this stuff is that it looks like quartz. I don't know what kind of mineralogy that is, but that looks to me like it's quartz. And this is a bit of the hiking that I was going on. And it was about 93, 94 degrees while I was there. And the wind actually made it rather tolerable. It wasn't that bad. But you're just kind of out there. And every once in a while on the trail you'd pass a rock like this. And it's what geologists refer to as an erratic. And it's a rock that doesn't belong there. If you look everywhere around, you've got lava rock, you've got all this other stuff, and yet here sits a big rock that looks to me like it's granite. And I'm like, this does not belong here. And the reason it is there is because during the Ice Age, the rock got trapped in the ice, and the ice transported it to that location, and when the ice melted, it dropped and has sat there ever since. I zoom in on this little tree here. I thought that was just the coolest little thing. All these little shrub things look like little bonsai trees to me. And you can see that there's still wildflowers growing over there because it's only May. It's rather interesting. And back on the trail again. One of the nice things about shooting video and stuff like this is that you get to see this, see what's up there without actually having to do it yourself. Comes in handy for several of my relatives that are not exactly able to do this kind of a hike for one reason or another. This is a view, and this is all state park. It's just out there in the middle of nowhere. And the desert views were just absolutely incredible. And being that it's only May, there's still a lot of green out there as opposed to it just being brown. And of course, wildflowers. They were popping up. They had yellow ones, purple ones. I have no idea what those are, but there they were. And yeah, so it was quite a fun little trip. The interesting thing is that when I left Seattle and when I came back, it was really cloudy here, and so it was kind of interesting that over there on the other side of the mountains, it was just blue sky. It was really nice. And I decided to film a little bit of the hike because, once again, there are several people in my family who would never be able to take this hike. And you'll see right there that little grate thing. I'm pointing out the fact that it's blue sky. And there's that fence right there is the edge of the state park. Anyway, wherever they found these petrified trees, they built these little kind of enclosures to keep people from stealing them. And you have to look down a little bit, but this one says it was redwood. And how they know that, I have no idea, but it was very interesting. And it was, 1.5 feet across. It was a decent sized tree. I just thought that was interesting. And they had all sorts of different kinds of trees out here that just were a complete surprise. And I understand that the Ice Age floods brought a lot of these trees to this place, but they couldn't have washed away from too far away. And so there was a redwood growing over there somewhere. And I just thought that was fantastic. I was noticing the grass, the desert grass blowing in the wind. I really wish I could have used some of the audio, but all it is it sounds like a jet engine when I listen to it before recording this. And the desert sage, of course, it smelled incredible. The whole place smelled like sage. It was awesome. And to me, the trail was pretty easy, but it was a little warm out there for some people. This is a little further on, and these are some of the purple flowers that I noticed. And these had clearly bloomed earlier, and they were on their way out but they were still there. You can see the north-facing slope there because it's just absolutely green. Just thought it was rather interesting juxtaposition between the slope closest to me and the one facing away. I gotta say, I'm getting a little better at using the gimbal. It takes a little getting used to, but it's rather interesting. Here's another one of those trees. It's an elm tree. You see it was hollow there in the middle. That thing was pretty wide. So it just surprises me that you would have a redwood and an elm and all these different kinds of trees all together. You can see the shadow of the gimbal there. Kind of funny. There were constant signs everywhere saying, hey, be careful of rattlesnakes. I never did see one or hear one while I was there, but it was middle of the day, so that could have been why. And this is pretty much the end of my filming of this area. And next I was going to those horse statues on the other side of Vantage. You can see this is from the back side. Most people see them from the opposite side because they're down there on I-90. I just thought this was rather interesting. Thanks for watching, guys. Catch you on the next one.